Hey guys, welcome to another Zelda vlog. This time I'm doing it without the ceiling light on because I'm talking about Majora's Mask. I had never played this before, I had only seen what my friends have played in the past, and I do know how different it is compared to other Zeldas because of how much it's talked about online. It was the first console Zelda that people were kind of iffy on and started the Zelda cycle. If you don't know what the Zelda cycle is that whenever a new Zelda game comes out, the last game gets more praise. When this came out, Ocarina of Time had already gotten a lot of praise. So when this ended up being so different, people didn't like it. Things like, what do you mean I can't save everywhere? And I have a fixed time limit where I can do things before I have to reset it? And some people say it was disliked because it was too dark, but I really think those gameplay issues are the reason that people really didn't like it. And I was a little bit annoyed that I couldn't save everywhere, and I got used to the time travel mechanic after a little bit. I do like that the Song of Time in this actually travels through time rather than in Ocarina of Time where you use the Master Sword. But yeah, it did start the Zelda cycle of the next game coming out in the Zelda franchise is not as good as the last Zelda game, which happened with Wind Waker, which happened with Twilight Princess, which happened with Skyward Sword. I'm not sure if it's going to happen with Breath of the Wild, because it's looking really good, and Skyward Sword is by far the most hated one. I personally like Skyward Sword a lot more than other people. It's still probably my least favorite 3D Zelda, but still it's pretty good. But enough about that, let's talk about Majora's Mask and my experience with it. So I do like the time travel mechanic even though it's a bit annoying at first. Once you understand that you can slow down and speed up time, it becomes a lot easier. One thing that is kind of hard to wrap your mind around though is what goes on each day. Because there are some side quests that span multiple days, and some of those side quests come in handy a lot later, especially getting stuff like the Gilded Sword. And if you want to get all the masks, there is a very long side quest that spans multiple days, and you're going to have to, do it a couple of times if you want to get all of the masks. And getting all of the masks is pretty fun, though some of them are kinda useless. The only purpose for some of the masks is just to get another heart piece. And while that does help with extending your life meter, in this game, I never ever used a fairy, which I was pretty surprised by because I've heard this game is kind of hard. For the last two games I played, I definitely needed fairies in Link to the Past, and in Ocarina of Time, I really only needed them at the very end. But in this, I don't know if this is because I got all the stray fairies and I got the one great fairy gift that gives you, half as much damage from enemies. So maybe that's why it seemed easier to me, though the playstyle in this is very similar to Ocarina of Time, and I just played that, so maybe I was just getting better at it. There are only 4 main temples in this game, though they're very long, and the story in between all of them is really cool. I love all the different characters you meet, and I think Tattle I like a lot better than Navi. Tattle has this completely different personality, and it makes me wish that they would have another game where fairies are a companion. But the story itself, it's foreboding, it's dark, it's definitely the darkest Zelda. Like that music that plays in the final night in the last 6 hours, it has this sense of lingering doom. And the Song of Healing, even though it's supposed to be a song of healing, it doesn't sound like it's healing. So I can see why this game is a lot of people's favorite Zelda. Yeah, it recycles a lot of assets from Ocarina of Time, but as long as you can make a new story around those assets, then that's fine. So Majora's Mask, I really liked it. It was pretty fun. It was very easy at the end though, because I got the Fierce Deities mask since I got all the masks, and the final boss was just a pushover. So that's my experience with Majora's Mask. Tell me your experience down in the comments. And next time I'm going to play Wind Waker, and I'm actually going to try streaming this since I just got an Elgato capture card. I have played the entirety of this on GameCube before, and I recently got the HD remake, so I'm excited to go through this again in HD. And if I beat this fast enough, I'll try beating Twilight Princess as well, but by that time, Breath of the Wild might already be out. So I'll see you in the next Zelda vlog. Bye!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Well, by now we're getting a bit used to winter. We're like soldiers in the middle of a campaign, growing hardened to discomfort and better able to